Every once in a blue moon, one of these lifts will hit, one of them will happen, in which I'm currently going to the gym at 2:30 in the morning. I don't even know. Like, what happened? Why? How did we get here? Pretty much, it's just, I had a long string of just like not getting the best quality of sleep, and then I hit extra hard today to the point where it was sincerely affecting how I felt. Because I am not incredibly, sometimes I can be a little bit iffy, but a lot of the time I can be pretty damn in touch with my body. And today, I felt it. I'm like, my blood pressure is high, and I'm like cranky. I need sleep. Like, those are two give me points that I need to go to bed. So it came out today. Not like any kind of bad way, but I was, I did a day of substitute teaching because that's still something I do. Definitely though, with my new job that I got, I want to move away from that. The big thing being, I really would like to be more transparent about talking about certain substances and stuff of that nature, because I really do feel like there should be more, I think, sensible and people who are not hyper masculine talking about this kind of stuff, because I think it is important to know and to learn, and just those who are hyper masculine tend to be very standoffish to a certain audience, and I just want more information to get out to more people. And how do you do that? You diversify you diversify the speakers and the teachers of said information. So I'm trying to slowly but surely just get out of substitute teaching, because I don't want to be doing stuff and things and then, be in a school and have administrators be like, hey, we saw one of your TikToks or something, blah, 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 blah. Just have it be this whole thing. So it's just smart for me to get out of that world right now. Because, it's run its course for what it's worth, I admittedly am a significantly better teacher than, what I once was. And that's all you can really, I guess, hope for when it comes to substitute teaching. I'm a better communicator. I'm way better at working with kids of all ages because of it, which is awesome. Contrary to, it's funny, my girlfriend, she has a niece, and maybe I'm not the greatest at working with younger kids, because I talk to them like they're actual people who can comprehend the world around them, probably a little bit more than what they actually can. So it comes up, so what happened is I'm hanging out, around, and that niece is showing me a thing, and I go yeah, cool teacup, man, that's awesome. And then she'll go over to another one of her aunts or something and be like, wow, that's so, and I get that's what, the kid, kids like it, they're gonna go to that. And if I do, me and her do happen to have kids someday, I will be so excited to hold their hand through that whole deal. But when you have a whole family clamoring for the attention of currently the only grandbaby in the family right now, I really have zero want or need to be involved in that whole kerfuffle for the child's attention. So that's a little snippet of that for me. Don't know what that has to do with anything. But moral of the story, back to what I was saying. 2:30 a.m. Thingy mabobby, early lift / really late lift / yeah, I took a fat nap, woke up. Oh my god. And it's annoying because it would be really nice to have a solid schedule. And this has not happened in a while. This incredibly late night kind of thing, it has been a hot second. And it's not going to, oh my god, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be as great as I thought it did. Because I was thinking to myself, earlier, it was later in regards to yesterday, but earlier in regards to today. It doesn't even matter. But, oh gosh, we're going through a lot right now. But, the big thing, I really thought, I was thinking to myself, tomorrow I get to sleep in anyway. What does it matter? Oh, your boy is going to be doing some DCI stuff, Drum Corps International. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's essentially Adult Competitive Marching Band. I'm going to be back in marching band. That is something that was not on my 2026 bingo card in the slightest, but I'm very excited. It'll be a really cool experience just to kind of get back into it and see what happens, because for me, tomorrow's technically an audition rehearsal day, and I'm so fucked. I live a life I do stuff and things. So to really like hunker down and do trumpet, we'll see what happens. Because like part of me wants to, when I get home, throw in my practice kit, go hide away in the basement and kind of work on some music. But the problem there is that I just simply, there's no real, what am I thinking? There's no point, because if I do that right now, my lips are just going to be tired for tomorrow. And tomorrow is the whole practice deal, which I think practice or rehearsal, it's either 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Starts at one of those 2 hours and goes all the way, I think it's 9 a.m. for me, specifically like the more just regular members, to 6 p.m. It is a long, odd day of playing the trumpet. I have not played the trumpet consistently for over 2 years. So, when I say my chops are freaking chopped, they are roughed. But we don't sound terrible, and I think it's going to be doable. You know, I have the abilities. I just need what some may call a bit more time to kind of get stuff down. Because I got the music literally this week. So I think just showing up and being able to sound as good as I did, I mean, it's hard. Because with stuff like this, there's the expectations that, you know, probably the leadership of the marching band, of that marching drum corps thing, they have and their whole ideals. But, like, the only thing I can do is, you know, do my best. And, you know, considering what I have done to prepare for, you know, tomorrow. And it's this imbalance of sorts. And I don't know. It's going to be odd. It's going to be interesting. This is because, like, you know, new folks, new people. And what's extra cool, actually, so a lot of drum corps, the more very popular ones, you're thinking the Blue Devils, the Blue Coats, the Cavaliers, Phantom Regiment. You know, if you know any of them, you know, if you do, you know ball. That's awesome of you. But if you don't, those, they kind of have a whole age-out thing. Because the thing is with drum corps, when you compete with those top corps at the top level, they are physically intensive. And for that reason, they have an age-out thing, which I'm pretty sure is just a safety precaution. Holy smokes there, bucko. Whoa. There's a truck that went by me that he could have really gone around me a little sooner than he did, but I digress. But the big thing there is, you know, you age out at 22. I am going to be 22 during the season, so I think my window technically for when I could have competed in those drum corps is going to be gone, actually, technically. But that's fine, because the one drum corps I'm going to be applying for and stuff, it's an open corps. That means that it takes everybody of every age, and I think that's awesome. I think it's going to allow for some really cool connections to be made. And along with that, they hold their rehearsals like 20 minutes away from where I'm currently living. And even then when I do, you know, move in with my girlfriend and kind of, you know, go an hour away from where I'm at right now, I still have my parents' house, which is still 20 minutes away from where the rehearsals are held. So I'm looking forward to that, and I think that's going to be really great. However, I'm worried because new job. The new job I have, it like heavily requires that I work weekends. And there's a problem there with then that, because, you know, for now it's like, it's sporadic, it's nice. But as things get rolling, weekends get a little bit harder to, like, you know, they get harder in the sense that, like, I have to, you know, rehearsals are happening every Saturday, but I also need to be working every Saturday. So I have to bust my butt to get into a really good position with this new company I'm working with by the time summer rolls around, which realistically the leeway that I have is pretty much, I think, the rest of March, which we don't have like a lot left at this point, April and maybe May, and we'll see what happens there. So I'm really hoping that things can work out nicely in one way or another, because I mean, I'm hoping that, because the one caveat that I really think can help me out is that whole, you know, the open age thing. You know, the fact that anyone ranging from, like, you know, like, let's just say, I think it's, you know, 16 to, like, you know, 70 if you're capable, you can do it. The big thing there, though, is I'm hoping, because that the age range is so wide, that the stuff we will be learning would be easy enough for someone of my caliber of just like one musician, once I get back to, you know, being good, and also just my, I got a good brain. I got a good brain. And, with my, mental capabilities and physical capabilities, I think I might be able to maybe irk out and skip some things possibly, depending on that whole thing, because, like, if I have to choose between marching band and a job that I view to be very promising, I'm going to take the promising job. Like, as much as I love my passions, marching band, music in general, I have found out it cannot really be my main thing. Like, there are certain things, there are certain hobbies and passions that when they take forefront and they're like a big financial oomph in front of me, I can like chase it down like a freaking hungry lion or something. Music, I don't have nearly as much of a burning passion or burning desire to get better in a sense. I still want to be a great musician to my own merit. I want to be good at what I do, but I'm not like some other people that like make it their life and everything like that. I love music, but I'm not obsessed with it as is some people. And I think it's good to realize that, because, similar to people like myself who studied music and went, oh, I probably shouldn't be studying music, you just got to kind of find that balancing act and, discover what it is that you truly want to do. And I'm super excited because, especially when summer rehearsals start going, I'm going to be shredded. Going to be shredded to heck and back, man. So that would be really awesome. But maybe, possibly. We'll see what happens. It just, whenever you see these marching band people like really get going and stuff, like they get they're lean because they're moving so dang much. And actually, I was having a conversation. I went from a mutual to just like a light acquaintance, someone who like is very big in the whole like music education sales kind of stuff here in like the Midwest part of the country. And the big the big thing there is we were chatting, and he's like, hey man, like, when you're on tour, you're gonna have to eat what they give you. And I'm thinking to myself, oh hell no. Because for one, the food that they provide, peanut butter jelly sandwiches. For one, macros, booty. But no, I'm not gonna judge people. Like, it's considering the work we're putting in and how much we're gonna be moving for people, that is going to be a nice calorically dense thing for folks. And that's really good planning by the leaders of that whole ordeal. But in my case, I'm allergic to peanut butter. I cannot do that, and I will need more protein, and I will need more carbs than the average marcher. Because that's just simply how I'm built. That's simply the diet I want to have. So it kind of shocked me that someone would like blame and be like, well, you can't do that. Because like, I have respect for this guy. But it's just, with people you kind of meet on the internet, it's a learning curve, because, like, I think people do forget that you're a real person with, like, real goals, especially in the fitness space. People just kind of see you for, like, your little tidbits of news, your little tidbits of advice, and your other tidbits of physique and stuff. And then, that's all they can see you as. They don't see you as a full, fleshed-out human being who's doing things. Like, going on these little adventures, like, being a boyfriend, trying my best to, like, do other things in life. Like, you don't see everything. And that is probably, if social media, it could have been a thing where, like, you see everything, you hear everything, you know everything about a person, that's one thing. But the fact that people only know certain amounts about certain people really leaves a lot up for interpretation that can go either really great or really poorly for the person that they are interpreting, And it's just interesting to kind of think about. But all that aside, good God, marching band, people on the internet, it's whatever. But yeah, so we're going to eat what we need to eat. And like, that's the other thing, like, what are they going to do? Like, I will bring, like, the foods I'm going to bring. I think I'll be like, no, I can't. Like, I've hit a breaking point as far as people telling me what I can and can't do, to an extent. So, like, I don't know. The idea of people telling me what to do in aspects of my life that you don't need to tell me what I need to do, like, I have zero tolerance for that, because I just see it as, like, disrespecting me, and I'm not going to let anyone disrespect me, because that's not how I roll. That's not the kind of person I am, I'm going to stand up for me, because I'm a cool guy I view to be, like, I don't know, good expectations for myself, and I will achieve those however I see fit. But that's not me saying, like, I won't follow authority ever, because that's stupid. Like, the idea that, you always have to be against the system, or like, anarchy or something like that, it's silly. It's so silly, because there's no need for that. Like, if we as a species could not, kind of conglomerate, maybe that might be a right word, I don't even know at this point, but kind of, work within the ideals of a leading figurehead of sorts, we wouldn't have been able to get this far. Now, mind you, I think throughout history, there's always going to be, there's always been those moments of rebellion, people not liking it, but, kind of figureheads of, civilizations have been incredibly helpful for the survival of people. So I view the listening and following of authority to be valid if it's valid, And obviously that's going to be very up to interpretation. So what do I view as like an authority worth like actually listening to? I don't know. It kind of depends on the metrics and the kind of thing they are being authoritative over. Like, for example, when it comes to bodybuilding coaching, I will look to people who have gotten a fair bit of clients, who have brought great people to stage and brought people to stage and have had them look great. Like, there's one thing there, and then along with it, like in other senses, like music. People in that case who I feel are just like well versed on what is it? I don't know, practicing? I know, good music literature, have done many performances, because it all just depends. Do I like the person as a person? That factors heavily into a lot of stuff. It just, it's hard to tell, because for each person it's going to be a different story. Because that's just kind of how the whole human experience tends to work, You like who you like, you dislike who you don't. So I really can't give a good answer. And I will happily admit that, It's all based on the eye of the beholder. And gas is expensive right now, and I'm kind of pissed. I guess the rare hot take, or the rare political take from Trenton Lasky, more or less. Why the heck are we bombing Iran? Why, okay, look, aren't we supposed to be doing stuff for the sake of America's interests? And the last time I checked, having the gas prices go up essentially like $1 from what they were a matter of weeks ago, that's not too great, man. I don't like that much. Call me a little biased, but I don't like paying more for gas than what I had to before. And I think it's so silly, because who did we enter this little kind of conflict with Iran with, I wonder? Oh, shocking. It's everyone's favorites, Benny and Netanyahu. I hate this thing so much. And it's just so silly. I'm not getting drafted, by the way. I refuse to, all right? I'm not going to go fortunate son this stuff. I just, I quit. But with that, I think luckily my peanut allergies, hearing impairments, visual impairments, and then possibly undiagnosed mental thingies, because ADHD or ADD, I forget exactly what they're calling it nowadays, runs in my family. Like, my dad has it, one of my younger brothers has it diagnosed, everyone else is kind of undiagnosed, and I have my moments where it definitely seems like I might be, but that's just kind of me. So big thing there, I ain't gonna do it, and I hate that America is just for the rich and the wealthy. Sucks. But that aside, what are we doing at 2:30 in the morning? We're hitting some squats, so we're on the powerlifting arc. A video is actually released in a matter of hours, just talking about that one, and it's it's fun. It's fun enough. It's definitely different. It's very different than what I'm used to. Like the first week, I'm still in the first week actually. Holy cardio! Like, we're talking 3 sets of 8. And I can't lie, I'm going to be brutally honest, I feel like the way powerlifting is done, it seems slightly primitive. I want to look into a bit more of the literature and stuff, because as a bodybuilder, I'm a big low volume, high frequency kind of guy. Because that's been shown to build muscle nicely, and I do completely understand that, powerlifting, building muscle, they're not exactly the same thing, contrary to how it may sound. The big thing there being is that, well, you have this whole thing, CNS, Central Nervous System, CNSF. Yeah, Central Nervous System Fatigue. Or something like that. Oh golly, there's like a cat or something in the road. We're in, but big thing there. There's kind of a difference when it comes to training and stuff of that nature. So you gotta vary what you do based on what your goals are. And could someone who's trained strictly for bodybuilding get better at powerlifting as long as they had the main movements of powerlifting in their programming? Oh hell yeah! Been there, done that. No, not really. But starting off a week being have 4 reps, RIR, and then for your RPE, something perceived effort. I forget exactly what the terminology is there. A 5, it just feels. I feel like a wuss. It's just I know I can lift harder, and especially because of recent developments, I feel like I should be lifting harder. It's kind of like that placebo where it's I feel stronger already. I'm definitely not. But we're getting there, and it's interesting because I've recently also started doing the other stuff too. I was, my initial plan is we'll do this for 4 months was the initial powerlifting arc plan. However, powerlifting is not necessarily all I want it to be. And admittedly, even after the first week, I'm kind of okay, I'm a little over it already. So, but one of the big things is my coach I was working with, because especially, and I will stand by this, contrary to me kind of leaving him for a second to do the powerlifting thing and kind of not working, kind of quitting my coach for a second to do that thing, I ended up doing the whole unnatifying of myself anyway. And the biggest thing I'd recommend is when you are getting started with that stuff, have a coach. Have someone that you can go to and be hey, I'm doing this now. So I worked out a new deal, luckily, to kind of help with another reason I kind of switched to powerlifting is, once again, just the price point of coaching with the guy I was working with. He's a great guy and a great coach, so he deserves every penny. But I just couldn't do that because of mainly college payments and stuff, and it's not looking much better. For the time being, but work's going to be happening. Luckily, it's a mandatory 40 hours a week for the job I'll be doing. That's great, because I'll have no excuse but to work 40 hours. I'll get my classwork done, because there ain't no way I'm going to be faltering or be caught lacking with class stuff again, because I already had 2 semesters of college where I was just not a great student, and especially with what I want to do in life, I got to be a hard worker, or else what's the point? So yeah. Things have been worked out. It's going to be good, I hope, pretty sure. And I'm just very excited, and we might be dabbling in other things other than the baseline thing we kind of made an adjustment to. But my main thing is to stick with that baseline thing, that one thing, and just kind of bump it up as we go and just see what kind of the cap is there. Because my big philosophy when it comes to maybe taking that next step in bodybuilding is minimize variables. Because the more stuff you throw in at once, if something goes wrong, it's going to be a lot harder to point out where it's coming from, But that's just me. So we got a little squat day coming up, and then tomorrow we got a full meet day where we're doing a bench, deadlift, and a squat. Today's just going to be a squat day, but a really, really light one. And admittedly, because of the other stuff we're doing tomorrow, I can't lie, I'm just going to rework the programming today to just be more bodybuilding oriented, just so I can kind of have a nice idea of what I would like to do for each day. So I'm thinking today we'll do a squat, we'll do the main squat thingy, and then that will be the only leg thing we do today. Well, actually, no, we'll do adductors, and then also do that. And then along with that, it'll probably be mainly a back-oriented day. And then that way, when I do bench tomorrow, I can kind of hit chest a little harder. And then we'll kind of hit the other things we didn't quite get today. Yeah, that'll work. Alrighty, here we go. Break on 3. 1, 2, 3, break. Alrighty. Starting off with some light cardio to get the blood flowing somewhat. especially after things and stuff. The best thing I personally can do is just get blood flowing, especially on our body. Especially like for me, mainly it's the glutes and just like, I don't know why, but my right upper glute, it's been like always like really tense, even like as a runner in high school. That's what I've been dealing with. And I found cardio along with some of the other hip things you're going to see me do have helped me out with it. So, ta-da, this is what we do. Let's bump the incline, at least a little. But yeah, honestly, now some of my least favorite parts of the gym is like, typically I do a little pre-gym ritual nowadays on the days where I need to do it. It's like I go into a locker room, restroom area, sit there for a second, do a thing, and then just, move. But yeah, I'm gonna do this for the next couple, then see you at the first kind of actual lift. Starting off with, like I said, adduction. Oh, my hip just popped. Whew. Like I said, I gotta warm stuff up. Good golly. And today I actually ran my gym pin, so I gotta find out if this is actually a machine where it's worth using. Right. The one part is also trying to figure out how wide you can go alongside with how heavy. I like to think that if I do this long enough, I'll eventually be able to do these splits. We'll see though. All right. Let's see. Full stacking. Alright, we will bump this up. Okay. I guess this will be good. Six one. Okay. Alrighty. That's pretty okay enough, more or less. Feels fine. Admittedly, just like, this is nice for the sake that it inflames the, adductor muscles. Kind of makes the act of squatting a little nicer. Is kind of why I like to throw it in before the actual things. Now, mind you, for the sake of powerlifting, I'm kind of realizing, like, I probably would have been smarter to do more of like a warm-up, get the blood flowing, opposed to just like hitting a hard set on the sucker. But this is not going to take away from a kind of my squat thing for the day. So it is what it is, and I got to think about how I want to pull off of my SDL session. Squat SBL. There we go. Wait, no, SBD. SBD session. My SD card got a little full, and we took the hat off because, admittedly, the beta alanine is making me a little itchy. So I'm not sure exactly when it cut off. So, more sorry. The last set of these makes the squatting a little nicer. Probably maybe should do squatting first, but it is what it is. Same weight as last time. Okay. Five. Oh, God. Oh. And next time I see you, I will be doing my squats and stuff. Yep. Another thing I will say, I don't recall if these are done low bar or high bar, what I should do, but it is what it is. Oh man, now I got the hiccups. Oh golly, already. 2 plates versus me with the hiccups. Squat time. Should be easy enough. Got some heart playing on the radio, aka my headphones, so it should be an absolute phenomenal set. Lord help me now. Here we go. Oh, tell me you never low bar. Tell me you never do free weight squat without telling me. That's it right there. Whew. We'll see what we can pull off. Possibly a 25 on each side. I just don't. Oh. These are rocking. That's kind of maybe why it felt weird. Whatever. Add a little bit more and then really get things going. Ready. Here we go. 2 plates and a quarter. Each side. We'll see how this goes. It's not really my legs, because my legs can move it, but it's the upper body, the grabbing and stuff. And this time we're gonna raw dog it. Hey. Alrighty. Hip. Here we go. Hip. Ugh. Oh, 6. We'll call that. Probably, well, we could do more. I was like, once again, other than my body keeping it up, right? Like, that's pretty easy. We'll see, I don't know. Maybe throw on a 10. Alrighty, what was it, 295, technically? Yeah, 295. My lower back is already screaming at me. Oh, God. I really don't like this. God. I did not feel like re-racking that. Alrighty, and now onto some lat pull downs. This has been between the last clip to now, it has been like a while. That's okay. Definitely going to be a longer day than I thought. Oh, golly me. I got to be over like 40 minutes away from here in, what is it, 2 hours? Pretty much, yeah. It's like plus 2 hours plus the drive stop, like 2 hours till I have to get going. So, wonderful little situation we got going on, but I'll get some lat pullovers. And then, yeah, I'd say probably pullovers and then maybe some lateral raise stuff. 1 set of some kind of nuts. Because still gotta do squat, bench, and deadlift today. So do this. And lateral raise is probably called good. Very short workout, all things considered. Okay. Oof. Alrighty, now pec time. Gotta raise this up. This one, simple enough. So now the sucker. And then from there, trying to think of what else. Maybe, I know I've been kind of, that's the main thing, like, oh, what else? Don't really want to do biceps for the sake of deadlifting. Kind of engages a little bit during that. Yeah, I feel like this is probably, maybe lat pull down will probably be the final thing then. At least that, ow. At least it's the only thing I could think of really. That'd be probably worth doing. Okay, we're just gonna go ham on this. Here we go. Oh, this happened last time. Got 3. Had to drop set it. Boom, boom, boom. Ready? Let's get a couple more. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Oof. Now everyone's favorite movement, on the floor rows. Instead of doing another rear delt thing, I'm just going to do a seated upper back oriented cable row. If only the camera could get a little lower. That's whatever. Okay. It's kind of a hard one to set up admittedly. Hip. Hip. Oh, I forgot just hit my shin and I forgot my straps, so this is what we get today. Okay. Alright, let's crank the sucker. God. And I kind of the Kelso shrug variation. Whew. Very dramatic looking at this lighting. Whew. Alrighty, then dumbbell lateral raises, because why not? Things have already gone just completely off the wire, so might not do something, more fun than not. Alternate it. Okay. Okay. I probably just had one of the most interesting kind of late night lifts of my life. Late night actually is getting into the early morning. I started this at 3:30. It's like 6 something. Didn't mean for that to happen, but it is what it is. We're just going to kind of wrap this up. Another set of dumbbell lateral raises. I'm trying to really hit the lateral delts. And then from there, probably lat pull down just to kind of get that stuff engaged. And then chest, buys, tries, and the other stuff. Some more leg things we'll just save for tomorrow. And then Sunday will be one much needed rest day. And we'll kind of reset and go forward from there. Probably actually get on plan is what I did today. The powerlifting coach I'm working with did not follow a single thing, which it is what it is. We're just trying to get stuff figured out. And, I like to have fun. And this is how we do that. So what do I want to move today? They have 35s going right to the 50s. 40s are MIA, allegedly. All right, so we'll 35 it. And then pull down. Whew. Face the camera. I don't know. All right, we'll do it this way. Get single arm again. I can't tell if I'm feeling it more in my trap or something else. Yeah, my traps are definitely popping. Are you leaning back up? Okay, nope. Oh. Definitely more trapped than anything else that time around. I'm wondering, because my right delt definitely has more oomph than my left, but my left trap has more oomph than my right. And I'm wondering if that has something to do muscle insertions and stuff. Fun. Alrighty, and then final movement of this bizarre lift. Whoa. Man, definitely can really feel this, like, really only digging into those lower lats. Especially when you have these, like, weird grippies. Okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Yeah, feeling that. Okay, and, for the heck of it, we're gonna pose down a little in the main gym space because no one's here. Whew. All right, and that right there, pretty much. Oh, wait. Ooh. See that in the background? That's nice. But anyway, the camera's about to die. I'm going to peace out, finish up what I need to finish up, get dressed, get ready for my big day. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.